As mentioned in part 1, we'll be following all the Production Junior and Super 2000 championships throughout the series. And this week, the S-WRC were out in force in Sweden. The cars, well, they're 2-litre naturally aspirated engines. That means no turbo. Their power comes from putting the pedal flat to the floor and using 8,500 revs. All four wheels singing and cutting through whatever's in their way. 7 drivers were present, all hoping to get their 2010 season off to the best start, with more drivers due at the next event in Mexico. The new season and new championship was exciting for all.
The new car is fantastic. It's something new for me, new motivation, and the feeling with the car is perfect. So I'm like 10 years younger, so it's really perfect.
Winning on snow is a rather different matter and requires a special technique.
It's always difficult to drive on snow. The biggest advantage you got on snow is that you can lean a bit on the snowbanks. The snowbanks can help you to go back in a line. At the same time, it feels like glue. When you first hit the snowbank, it feels like the car will just like get stuck in the snowbank. But otherwise, it's more or less like driving on gravel.
And heading into the first day of 3, which included Thursday's Super Special, won by PG Anderson. 2 loops of 3 stages, ending with the same Super Special in Karlstad, 126 stage kilometres in total. A picture postcard setting, and in minus 22 degrees, Martin Prokop, the 2009 Junior World Champion, started the stages proper. And the new S2000 World Championship was away. The non-Scandinavian was up for a fight, but the conditions foreign to the Czech. Positive start from the 27-year-old, who was 3rd fastest. Patrick Sandell didn't get off to the best of starts. This stall on stage 4 was a true reflection of the Swede's day. During day 1, the 27-year-old could do no better than 4th. Not that the fans cared, lining the roads for a glimpse of the local and his Skoda Fabia. Patrick has a lot to prove, and maybe it was this added pressure that was costing him time. The youngest driver in the championship, Evan Brynildsen, was on the go pedal early on and matching the top times. Out of view on stage 3, though, the Norwegian spun, filling his radiator with snow, which dropped the 22-year-old to last place. Behind Evind on the road was Janne Chuahiro, full of WRC pedigree. You can see the stranded Brynildsen through the Finns' window as Janne set the 2nd fastest time for the day and showed the regulars of the championship that he meant business for this inaugural season. The best in the class, and a refreshing sight to see him back, was 2-time JWRC champion Per Gunnar Andersson. The Swede guest driver was storming the timing boards. To give you an idea of the pace, his average speed was just 5 kilometers an hour off that of a WRC car. PG was leading and driving hard. Further down the road, chasing PG's pace were the other 2 competitors. Portugal's Bernardo Sousa is another pilot like Prokop, where driving on ice is very much alien. The 22-year-old was using the kilometres as good experience, nestling in for 6th. Then bringing up the rear was the guest driver of Per-Arne Sav, only this round for the Swede. Sav's countryman PG Anderson was the man of the day, though. All 8 stages were won by the 30-year-old. He led the pack by 59 seconds. Brynildsen managed to claw his way up to 6th by the end of the day, with no retirements in the class so far. Day 2 had 6 more stages and a real spectacle for the fans. 118 kilometres of racing over the 700 kilometres of driving in the day. A chilly minus 19 degrees for the S-WRC. Even so, the hardened fans got roadside. PG with the final preparations and his Skoda Fabia up to race temperature. Anderson was immediately up to speed, warming his tungsten-studded tyres through the ice. The first run of Vargassen, and PG had another stage win. The next stage of Sagan was the fastest of the event, and the S-WRC came blasting through. The top 5 separated by just 9 seconds over the 14 kilometres. The 2010 season is going to be a real close battle if this stage is anything to go by. Sandell wringing the neck of his Fabia as he makes up for his day one issues. The Swede kept his 4th throughout the day. Frederiksberg stage 11, and Sandell should be worried, for a thundering Brynildsen came into the fold. 2 stage wins, and the Norwegian got to within half a minute of the Swede by the end of the day. Kato Menkerud was co-driving for Henning Solberg last season, and now sits to the right of Evin for 2010. The second time through Vargas in stage 13, and by the afternoon the fans were nearly all conscious and full of spirit. Thankfully, it was the S-WRC drivers attempting the afternoon loop, rather than those watching on Collins Crest, as the drivers were in full swing, and now getting more aggressive. Janne Chuahino's pace grew, and the Finn won 2 of the afternoon stages. Chuahino's best result was 4th in the WRC in 2004, so certainly knows how to do well here. Second place is the perfect foundation for the championship campaign. The positions in the rally remained constant, but there were a few surprises left in the day. Rally leader Anderson overshooting a junction on stage 15, but luckily for him, it was only tape that was in his way. Be it day or night, these rally drivers push to the limit in any conditions.
Höger 3 plus, 40, vänster 3.
Also, with brake discs glowing, Brynildsen nearly overcooked it on the same stage. The next surprise was a historic one, a first stage win for the S-WRC. No other support championship has ever achieved such a feat. Yes, the stage was only a mere 1.87 kilometres, but Martin Prokop steered his Fiesta S2000 around the Hagfors Sprint Special, beating the likes of Loeb and Hirvonen and their turbo-assisted machines. Prokop's stage win kept him firmly in 3rd, with Brynildsen putting the pressure on for that 4th place. Anderson, though, comfortably out front, and the Swede spoke to us at the end of the day.
I could drive a safe pace to start with, and then did a few mistakes, one on the Super Special and one on the second last stage. I overshot the junction and was a bit too cautious.
And what's the plan for tomorrow?
Fresh tires tomorrow and flat out.
There were just 5 stages left to survive for the S-WRC. Over 1,800 kilometres of road was covered during the event, showing the fantastic reliability of these cars. Fantastic reliability from the fans too, always cheery, whatever the weather. No retirements in the S-WRC, and Bernardo Sousa beats Saab for 6th place, giving the Portuguese youngster 8 points with the FIA's new scoring system. Evin Brynildsen had rear differential problems on the morning of the final day, so any thought of pressurising Sandell was lost. He and Kato Menkerud will take the positives for their 10 points.
150.
Sandell would come from his home event bemused from his lack of speed, and he scored 12 points for 4th. Martin Prokop, on the other hand, took the positives of being the leading non-Scandinavian driver. Better still, in a new Fiesta S2000, he made his way up to 3rd and got onto the bottom step of the podium. A good start for his 2010 campaign. Chuahino, remember, finished 4th here in 2004, but in Sweden this year the Finn was 12th overall, but most importantly 2nd in the S-WRC, plus the highest placed regular driver. Leading from stage 1 though was Swede and victor of the event, Per Gunnar Andersson. His talent got him to 10th overall and 1 World Championship point. Other than a few blips, it had been a faultless drive, and any sponsor looking to back a driver will look at this performance with great interest. He and co-driver Anders Fredriksson took the checkered flag to win in Sweden. And were clearly delighted. And there is the final leaderboard for the first round of the S-WRC. Using the new FIA point system, the #1 spot gets 25, 18 for Chouahino, 15 for Prokop, with 10 scoring places available. Saab, the final point scorer, getting 6. Over to the top 3.